You've written a manuscript, but you're unfamiliar with submission process and publication process? This video helps you. This video helps you understand the whole process and the various elements of submitting and publishing scientific papers, including authors, journals, indexing, subscribers, publishers, researchers, and cloud spaces. I promise you have never seen such a comprehensive map for the process of submitting and publishing papers. You may have written your valuable manuscript, but you don't know how to handle its submission and publication. For this reason, your impressive paper might be rejected or not receive considerable readability and citations as you expect. Hence, after writing your manuscript, this makes you disappointed in publishing your research. This video clarifies all the important players and elements of paper submission and publication in a big map and framework. This map shows your position in this process, helping you effectively interact with these players. Also, you become familiar with their special terms and titles. In addition, it gives you an inclusive framework, and based on this framework, you can then easily learn each of them one by one in more details in your future learning process and efforts. As you can see in this map, the main players of paper submission and publication are including authors, journals, indexing, subscribers, publishers, researchers, and cloud spaces. As you can see in this green rectangle, publishers, researchers, journals, and authors are gathered and collected and integrated with each other. And this green rectangle is cloud, which can provide a platform to interconnect authors, journals, publishers, and researchers. And also you can see journals in a red rectangle. This red rectangle indicates publishers. Publishers can gather and collect all journals or a huge amount of journals in an integrated platform. Authors are the starting point, since they give the primary input of this process, which is manuscripts. Authors can connect with journals using their own ORCID account. A successful and active researcher needs to have an ORCID account, although journals have their own system to establish a connection with authors. Anyway, if the journals are more than one, the co-authors select one among themselves as a representative called corresponding author. The corresponding author is a unique author responsible for the corresponding to contact the journals and other players. Journals are another main element of this process, since they help authors have a platform to present their research to the academic world that other researchers and scientists can read them and potentially make them reference. Journals have two essential members: editors and assistants. When the journal receives the manuscript, firstly, assistants check them to be assured that the manuscript has written according to the standards of journals, written in the main documents of journals called Guide for Author or Instruction for Author, downloadable in the journal's websites. Hence, authors modify their own manuscripts according to these guidelines before submitting to journals. If the assistants find the manuscript and submission consistent with the journal style and standards, then they pass them as submission to editor. If the journal has only one editor, then the editor checks the manuscript to decide whether it has a sufficient capacity for being published in the journal or not. If the journal has more than one editor, then the editors select a representative among themselves called editor-in-chief. The other editors are handling editors. In this case, the editor-in-chief assigns any submission to a handling editor. Then the handling editors decides on the submission. Okay, after journals, we focus on indexing websites. Indexing databases are another element that rank and categorize journals. Thereby, indexing databases give journals credibility. The major indexing databases are Web of Science and Scopus. If journals are indexed in these databases, they more likely have a relatively validity in the scientific world. For this reason, journals try to make a connection with them and respect their standards. Another element is subscribers. For example, universities and libraries. They try to make a connection with journals through some contracts to give their own members, including students and professors, a full access to the full text of the papers published in the journals. Another player is publishers. The most well-known publishers are Science Direct, Springer or Springer, TNF or Taylor and Francis, Wiley and Emerald. They help journals offer the accepted papers in a pleasant environment to potential readers. They provide valuable features, helping readers have a convenient experience of reading the journals, the papers. In this way, journals can only focus on the evaluation of the research quality they receive instead of concentrating on how to publish them. Then the next player is other researchers. They are either reviewers of the research, or potential they are readers of the papers. In this way, the other researchers either help the journals after receiving an invitation letter from editors to review and judge the submission manuscript as reviewers, or these researchers can contribute to the journal by reading its published papers. After researchers, the final player is the cloud spaces. There are some cloud spaces. These spaces provided by some providers. The two major research cloud providers are Editorial Manager or Production Manager and Scholar One Manuscript. The platform of Scholar One Manuscript has been developed and managed by Web of Science and Clarivate, while the platform of Editorial Manager or production manager are performed by another company called Aris. These spaces provide an environment that interconnect authors, journals, publishers, and writers in a unique and integrated system.